Hi, this is Lloyd Allen at fixingmarriages.com, and welcome to another segment in the course on the psychology of human sexuality. The psychology of human sexuality. And today we move into a more scientific study of the word sex. Okay? Now, what is sex? I want to read something here for you. They said that sex is anything two people can do to evoke or satisfy erotic feelings. Every normal human being has sexual urges. Even the animals have sexual urges placed within us to procreate, to replenish the earth, plus other things. And another purpose for sex is also for pleasure. Okay? Bringing two people together to consummate the marriage, to give expression of our love one for the other, and to bind two people together. Okay? In a loving, committed, monogamic relationship. Alright? And so that's another purpose of sex. So anything two people can do to evoke or satisfy erotic feelings. Erotic here, that which makes you feel sexual desire or arousal. Okay? Why does sex feel good? Why does sex feel good? Now, this is very important here. Our brains and endocrine systems are what create emotions. Our brain and the endocrine system create emotions. And this represents one part of how sex feels. So the brain and central nervous system are also responsible for sexual responses like orgasm. Watch this now. During sexual pleasure, all the nerve endings of your body, including your genitals, the penis and the vagina, all linked to your nervous system, are working in concert. Watch this now. So the brain and the nerve endings, the endocrine system and the genitals all work together in concert during sexual intercourse. And these are in constant communication. So the point here, without our brain, we cannot enjoy sex. And so let's remember this, that the most important sex organ that we possess is our brain. Our brain can inspire a lot of things. Our brain can determine even how we feel during sex. Our brain, what happens in our brain, determine secretion. So whether sex is painful because there is not enough secretion, or sex is pleasurable because there is secretion, all are determined by chemical reaction and also the brain, the entire nervous system working together in concert. So the most important sex organ that we have is the brain. This leads me to a few things. Let me just share this further. Without everything going on in our brains, we wouldn't have any interest in sex at all, nor find sex anything of interest. So this brings me to my next point. If men understood the connection between the mind and body of a woman, wouldn't they be careful to treat her with tender loving care to improve her sexual response? I want to say something here because this is very important. A woman's psychological nature and her sexual nature are closely linked. They are inseparable. And so if you want a woman to respond well sexually, you must ensure that psychologically she is well also. If you hurt her, if her feelings are wounded, and the wounds are not healed, then don't expect her to be able to respond sexually. For her psychological nature and her sexual nature are inseparable, closely linked. And so, if you call her names, derogatory names, and you erode her self-esteem, you berate her, you belittle her, you disparage her, you discredit her, you tell her all kinds of negative things to verbally assassinate her, and you treat her like that all day, don't expect her to be able to respond sexually at 9 or 10 p.m. Her sexual nature is frozen because her psychologically, she has been hurt. A lot of men need to understand this. So remember this, that love making for the woman begins not at 10 p.m. when you jump into bed, but at 10 a.m. when you jump out of bed. Okay? You must be massaging her emotion all day, making her feel like a superstar all day for her to want to have intimacy with you at night. Do you understand that? You see, men and women are different. And so, watch this now. A man may have a quarrel with his wife at 9 p.m. At 9:15 p.m., he's okay and he's ready sexually. He's good. But for the woman, the wife may have a quarrel with her husband at 9 a.m. Okay? If that wound is not healed, let me tell you this, at 9 p.m. the next day, and she's not ready. Why? Her sexual nature and her psychological nature are inseparable. And so this underscores the point, men, that you must understand the sexual nature of a woman. That her sexual nature is linked to her psychological nature. So if you want her to be responsive, you must find ways to treat her with tender, loving care. I want to share two passages of scripture because this is a principle that is deeply spiritual. Psalm 128 and verse 3, you know what it says? Thy wife is like a fruitful vine by the sides of thine house. A fruitful vine. That means, how do you treat a vine if the vine is to remain fruitful? My mother used to say, if you walk in the patch of pumpkin vine, the fruit will fall off. You see, a vine, it doesn't take much for the fruit to fall off a vine. Just treat it aggressively. The fruit falls off. And so it is with your wife. If she is to remain fruitful, as the Bible says, Psalm 128 and verse 3, if she is to remain a fruitful vine, she cannot be treated with hostility and aggression. She must be treated with tender, loving care. So you can understand that is needed, that is necessary for her to respond even sexually. For if she's wounded psychologically, she cannot respond sexually. Is that clear? So it's good to understand that about a woman. Also, let's understand something too about the man. You see, a marriage for the man, it is said that a man thinks about sex every 7 seconds. Of course, you know that there's a lot of controversy regarding that in the field of family therapy. But the point is, a man thinks about sex far more often than a woman. You see, sex means a lot to a man. Everyone has that urge, that strong urge, that passion, that need that he must release. And so, lady, it's good to understand a man. For guess what? You may not always feel like it. But if you can compromise and work with the program, okay, you could be helping your man. You could be helping your husband and saving him from a lot of ills, from saving him from even wandering off. Okay, so it's good in the marriage for there to be give and take. There needs to be, you must be able to make adjustment and compromise within the relationship for it to work. Okay? I want to close with this. Ladies, remember this. Why do you take your car to the gas station? To give it gas, isn't that right? No, you don't drink gas. But the car needs gas. So you give it gas, isn't that right? So it's not always about what you need, but what the car needs. So it is with a man, for example. Okay? If he needs sex, you can work with him. You may not feel like it at that time, but there's need for compromise within the relationship. For sex is very important to a man. Okay? And remember this, men, think about your wife as well. You must, as much as possible, enter by invitation. So you must work with her, prepare her so well that she will want to invite you into her garden, so to speak. Alright? Let me say something more about that. This video may be a little longer than 10 minutes, but I want to share something more about that. Why does sex feel good? Because you see, if the woman is satisfied psychologically, and this is why there's a relationship between spirituality and sex. The more spiritual a woman is, the statistics tell us, the more orgasmic she is. Is that clear? For with spirituality, you connect with your true self. You connect with your true sense of purpose when you have a deep relationship with God. And so a lot of men will tell you this, that the best sexual experience that he has with his wife is immediately after worship. Sex is deeply spiritual. As a matter of fact, sex points us to God. Because only a God can create the human body to experience such intimate pleasure. No man can do that, as what a person experiences during sex. Okay? So sex causes you to think, wow, God, how great thou art. Is that one, right? Sex helps you to remember that God is a good God, He's a great God. So sex puts your mind on God. So back to what I was saying. The more deeply spiritual a woman is, the more orgasmic she is. A lot of women who don't have a connection with God will tell you that many don't know what it is to have, say, multiple orgasms. So the more satisfied you are spiritually, the more your sexual nature will connect, and there's a symbiotic reaction and interrelationship between both the mind and the body. Alright? So please remember that. So why does sex feel good? Because you must feel good in your mind, and then that will enhance the joy of sex. Also, when the mind is prepared for the woman, she'll be able to lubricate better and hence to enhance sex. Exactly. So when there is not enough lubrication, then sex hurt. That leads me to my other point. Why does sex hurt sometimes? One of the answers is that not enough lubrication, because she was not prepared mentally and psychologically for it. Because remember, there's a connection between the endocrine system and the genitals. Okay? When the brain is ready, then the genitals is more prepared, for there is greater lubrication. Alright? So enter by invitation. Alright? Number 2, insufficient arousal. Why does sex hurt sometimes? Insufficient arousal. The body reacts to arousal with blood flow to the genitals. So spend time arousing her, men. Okay? Now, let me ask you this question. And this will bring me to my other point. Why is it that a man is normally regarded as the hot plate and the woman as the man is regarded as the gas stove, okay, and the woman as the hot plate? Why is that so? Because see, for the man, talk about the gas stove. One strike, blazes, and it explodes, and he's ready, and he's finished. Okay? And so a man responds many times. So always said, a man, it says, is a great mathematician. He counts very quickly, doesn't hesitate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, bam, that's it. Thank you, ma'am. for the woman, you must understand this. For the woman, she's a hot plate. She heats slowly. And so, man, it's important that you take time to prepare her. Number one, you must prepare her psychologically. And when she's prepared psychologically, and there's thrill and joy in the mind, then it will affect the endocrine system and the nerve endings. The genitals too will be impacted. Then there'll be secretion, there'll be lubrication. And then she will feel like giving you that great invitation. Come into my garden, my spouse. Remember this, always enter by invitation. And for you to do that, you must prepare her psychologically. This is one more reason why you must live to massage the emotion of your wife 24/7. Lovemaking for her begins not at 9 when you jump into bed, but at 9 in the morning when you jump out of bed, for you must be treating her well all day. Is that clear? So work together, both of you. Compromise with each other, give and take, okay, and meet each other's needs. All right? How do you prepare her all day, for example? Sometimes it only takes a little sweet nonsense during the day. All right? For example, you call her at work, okay? What do you say to her? You say, honey, I was just writing a letter to my mom, and every word I put on the paper was your name. Wow. You make her feel like a superstar. All right? For example, also another thing you can do, you call her, that's some sweet nonsense. You don't have to go to Harvard Business School to learn all these complicated vernacular. No. You just call her and say, I just call. You hang up the phone. To say, hang up the phone. 30 minutes after, you give her a call again. I love you. You hang up the phone. Then you call her 15 minutes after, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Listen to me. At 5, she beats you home. You are massaging her emotion all day. I know what you men are thinking. What about the man? Yes, ladies. It is said that a man is like a coconut. He may look rough and incorrigible on the outside, as though he's always ready to conquer the world. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger, he's already to conquer the world. But remember, inside there is jelly. What does that mean? Every man has a heart that is responsive to tender, loving care. So ladies, massage his ego as well. Massage his emotion. And when he's happy, he'll walk on broken bottles to take care of you. So call him on the phone too and say to him, honey, I want to tell you this. If life was a cabbage, the leaves would I give to others and the heart to you. Alright? Massage him with your words. Remember, in the Bible, Sarah called him Lord. When was the last time that you called your husband Lord? You see, you get more from your husband, not telling him how bad he is, but how good he is. He may not be the greatest husband in the world, but say he has 50 faults, and there's one good thing about him. Don't focus on the 50 faults. No, focus on that one thing. And you celebrate that good within him, because everybody has something good within him. Magnify his better nature. Celebrate that good. And you'll inspire the best in him. You'll inspire him to be his best. Okay? So every woman, don't be a discourager, be an encourager to your husband. And I want to leave you with this. Remember this. A teaspoon of honey attracts more bees than a barrel of vinegar. I'd like you to remember that. A teaspoon of honey attracts more bees than a barrel of vinegar. This goes for both of you. Treat each other with tender loving care. Love each other with your words. Massage each other's ego and your emotion. And ladies, remember this. Make him feel like he is your hero. That's what a man requires from a woman like nothing else. He wants to feel that he is your hero. And man, honor her. 1 Peter 3 and verse 7. The Bible, that's a biblical principle as well. The Bible says, dwell with them, husband, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife. Honor her. What does it mean to honor her? Put her on a pedestal. Treat her like your queen. Roll out the red carpet for her. And make her feel like she's classic. She's number one. Love each other with your words. And remember, ladies, a man needs respect. A woman needs love, and a man needs respect. A man can live without a lot of things, but he cannot live without respect. Love, remember, the sex has a lot to do with how you treat each other. The psychological nature and the sexual nature are linked. If you feel good psychologically, it will enhance sex. If you are wounded psychologically, your sexual nature is frozen. So remember, love each other with your words. Take care of each other. And remember, compromise. Alright? Compromise. God bless you. Until we meet in the next video presentation, go forth and make sexual intimacy an ecstatic and rewarding experience. Love you.